leadership positionality, knowledge foundations, and transformative action, a reflective narrative. This video provides critical reflections on my leadership positionality and its alignment with philosophical and practical foundations of knowledge. Leadership, at its deepest level, is inseparable from the way one understands reality, constructs knowledge, and applies values in action. My own approach to leadership is rooted in a conscious positionality, a recognition that who I am, where I come from, and the historical and social contexts in which I operate shape every decision and interaction. This positionality is both a lens and a compass. It informs not only what I see in organizational, academic, and community contexts, but also how I interpret challenges, opportunities, and the responsibilities that accompany authority. From a philosophical standpoint, my leadership is informed by a critical paradigm. I recognize that social structures, institutional norms, and historical inequities are not neutral. They shape the conditions under which people work, learn, and live. Leadership decisions, therefore, cannot be abstracted from questions of power, justice, and emancipation. Every strategic choice, whether in faculty governance, research policy, or community engagement, is approached with reflexivity, asking who benefits, whose voice is amplified, whose experience is silenced. Aligned with this paradigm, my practice reflects the redemptive dimension of leadership. Leadership, in this framing, is not performative or ego-driven. It is oriented toward repair, restoration, and transformation. It seeks to acknowledge past harms, address systemic inequities, and create conditions where talent, creativity, and scholarship can flourish for those historically marginalized. This orientation demands intentionality, ethical courage, and a commitment to learning for myself, my colleagues, and the communities we serve. In practical terms, my leadership is guided by the foundations of knowledge: ontology, epistemology, axiology, and methodology. Ontology. I view reality as socially constructed, yet materially constrained. Institutions, hierarchies, and policy frameworks exist, but their meaning and impact are interpreted through human interaction and negotiation. Epistemology. Knowledge emerges relationally. It is not simply possessed, but co-created with teams, students, and scholars, particularly when diverse perspectives are intentionally included. Axiology. Values are central. Decisions are continuously filtered through ethics, equity, and justice. Methodology. The deliberate processes through which actions are taken and decisions implemented ensures that leadership is systematic, evidence-informed, and accountable. This alignment between philosophical grounding and leadership practice manifests in several tangible ways. Strategic initiatives are co-designed with those affected, reflecting participatory decision-making principles. Policy shifts are informed by both empirical evidence and contextualized lived experience, balancing rigor with relevance. Mentorship and supervision are intentionally dialogical, fostering agency, reflection, and critical consciousness. Even in moments of rapid decision-making, the lens of critical and redemptive paradigms ensures that choices prioritize restoration, fairness, and the long-term flourishing of communities over short-term expediency. Reflecting on this, it becomes clear that leadership is itself a form of scholarship, a practice in which knowledge is applied ethically, reflexively, and transformatively. My positionality as a leader is inseparable from my philosophical and methodological commitments. I lead not as an abstract authority, but as a situated agent, navigating complexity with clarity, integrity, and a justice-centered purpose. In this light, the boundaries between research, teaching, and leadership blur, revealing a unified approach in which inquiry, reflection, and action are continuous and mutually reinforcing. Ultimately, leadership grounded in critical and redemptive paradigms transforms ordinary decision-making into an ethical practice of care, accountability, and empowerment. It embodies the principle that knowledge is not only to be studied, but to be applied in ways that restore, elevate, and expand opportunity. Through this lens, leadership becomes both an enactment of philosophy and a pedagogy of justice, demonstrating how theory, reflection, and praxis converge in the service of meaningful transformation. Happy self-discovery.